You struggling to hear God? Are you struggling to figure out if he's really with you or not? Well, let me tell y'all something. God, he's never away from you. No matter how hard it is for you to really understand, God is never gone. Throughout any hard time of your life, throughout any mental distress in your life, throughout any mental problem you have, like depression, sadness, loneliness, God is always with you. He's always near the people that's broken, that's lost, and that like they don't know what path they're taking. And it's also written, God will never leave nor forsake you. He's always with you. And there's something else y'all have to really like understand. Whenever it's a time in the day where, you're getting closer to God. You're connect with him every day, you're talking to him. But there's gonna be days where sometimes you won't really hear him. But that doesn't mean he's not here. That doesn't mean he can't hear your prayer. There are some times where the devil will try to come play with your mind and think that you're not going nowhere. He's like, you're not going nowhere. You're going to be where you're at. You're going to be stuck forever. Whenever like that happens, whenever y'all feel like y'all not doing enough or y'all not doing something right, and you start overthinking or doubting, like, is God really with you? That's the enemy playing on your mind, because God doesn't put you in that position to where you're overthinking, you're doubting yourself. He doesn't put you in that position. The enemy does. The enemy wants you to be scared about, he wants you to think where God is, like, where is he at? He wants you to doubt. He wants you to doubt. He wants you to be guilty. He wants you to feel ashamed. He wants you to feel like that you're not doing nothing right. But no, God is always here. He's always here with you. But the thing is, I went through that too. There was so many days where I felt like God wasn't here, and I was frustrated. I was lost. I was like, man, where God at? Where God at? But we have to just keep our faith that he's here. I think it was in Corinthians. It's like, for we walk by faith and not by sight. It was somewhere in Corinthians, I think. I got to really look back in my Bible. I kind of don't remember, but I think it was in Corinthians. It said, for we walk by faith and not by sight, nor physical reality as well. We walk by faith and believe that God's with us. We believe that God will be everywhere we go. We always have to have faith that God will never leave nor forsake us. Because the more you put your trust that God is with you, the more you put your faith in him, not in just what he can do, but faith in him alone. If you put your faith in God alone, I'm telling you, you will get more closer to him, and you will feel him more. And another thing is, not only do you have to just dive deeper into prayer, connect with him more and talk with him, to hear him and to hear him more. Fasting is another good thing to do. Fasting. I fasted a couple of times throughout my walk with Christ, and I started to hear God more. I started to really talk with him more. Like, I was more open up to weaken my flesh and talk to God more. Fasting is such a powerful tool. It's a real powerful tool. Like, I recommend a lot of y'all fast. Like, fasting is so good. Like, if you're a beginner, I say try like 10 hours or 15 hours at the most. And then when you advance in your relationship with God, you can go up to 24 hours. And fasting is tough. I thought fasting was easy, but I was thinking it's just 24 hours, it's nothing. But no, fasting it's harder than I thought it was. I mean, it's probably not hard for everyone, but it was definitely hard for me. It was definitely hard for me, but I recommend fasting. It's such a good tool to use. Like, it's very powerful. Fasting is when you abstain from food. And you just weaken your flesh that way. It helps you get stronger to fight and resist temptation. And it also just weakens your flesh, and it helps you get stronger at denying your flesh. That's why y'all need to fast. Fasting is very powerful. It's very good. But yeah, concluding this though, guys, don't be scared. Don't be in fear and think that God's not with you. Even if you're a beginner, God is always with you. He hears everyone's prayers and everyone's thought, and he knows everyone's thoughts and everyone's heart. If he knows you're trying to get closer to him, he will be there with you. You have to believe and have faith that he is, no matter how hard it is to believe.